Hey everybody, today I'm going to start out talking about something controversial. I don't like to be controversial, so I'm not going to stay here for too long. But I do this because I promised that I would respond to all of the concerns brought forth by people, from people who responded to the survey. And so I bring up the controversial subject of the election BS in this context. I want to remind you what the survey asked, and then I'm going to say what an answer was, okay? So the survey asked two questions. Question one, and by the way, if you haven't taken it, feel free to find an old post or just send me your answers. I'd love to know. So the first question is, what exactly is getting in the way of making time for self-care, for marketing that actually works, for fun, or for any of those? So basically making time for something that you actually really want to make time for. That's question one. Question two is, if you could wave a magic wand and have that problem that you identified in number one disappear, what bold action would you take? So this is a you question. Not how would I change the world, but how would I change me, or how would I change my actions? Okay, that was really the question. What bold action would you take? The answer was the election BS. It didn't really answer the question, but what it told me was that this person who answered was feeling as though the election BS was getting in the way of their creating time for the things that are important for them. And that's valid, very valid. So I don't know what the answer might be, but I'd love for, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, for you to comment below. What do you think some answers might be? If you're feeling as though these outside circumstances or situations that are happening outside of you are affecting your ability to spend time on the things that you really, truly desire to spend time on. And guys, that can be anything from, elections to, any number of politics or the news or, family members. Like, it's really the same stuff. It's just in a different context. And what I'll say is, for me, I don't listen to the news. I mean, I ultimately figure out and find out what's going on. So I don't even pay attention. So that makes it a lot easier for me to not worry about it, not have it fill my head. I think it's less and less maybe, but at one point when I first learned about this concept, maybe 10 years ago, the idea of not listening to the news, not reading the news, it's like, what, do you feel like you're putting your head in the sand? Well, to some degree, yes. You're still going to know the news. You're still going to, believe me, it comes through. But boy, when you stop paying attention to everybody else all the time, and you listen to the quiet of your own mind and your own heart and your own soul, you know what happens? You are then able, your nervous system calms down, and you are now able to do your great work. At least you're in the right place to do your great work. And what happens when you are in the right place to do your great work? Well, maybe it's not even your great work just yet. Maybe you're just a happier person. And happy people do good things, right? Maybe they're smiling at their neighbors. Maybe they, go to events and they just are generous. And what happens there? Well, you're going to pass along more goodness. You're not walking around sort of like looking at the ground, being kind of grumbly. Everything we do is going to affect somebody else. And if we want to affect the world in the elections and all that jazz, I mean, we can absolutely go out there and make a mark. I'm not saying don't be an activist. I'm not saying don't care. I'm definitely not saying put your head in the sand. I am saying there's a really tricky balance between being too externally focused and being apathetic. And only you will know the answer for you. But I definitely lean towards being very insular because I have great work to do in the world. And for me to be able to do my great work in the world, I cannot be swept away in politics. I can't. And I will still vote when I feel it's important to me to, make a stand on a topic or something. I'll occasionally go to a political rally or something. Not so much. It doesn't elicit a very good feeling in my heart, so I generally don't do that. I'm a pacifist, I'm not a fighter. That's just not kind of my nature, I guess. But I do fight for things that are really important to me, and I've only got so much energy. So I want you to think about, what can I control? What's my energy level? And what really matters? Ask yourself those 3 questions, and then hopefully you'll be on your way to having the election BS or whatever's going on outside of yourself affect you less, so that you can do your great work in the world, so that you can make time to do the things that truly matter. And as a bonus tip, check in with yourself. Are you just making excuses, I wonder? Is that an excuse to not dial in and decide what really matters? Is that an excuse to be distracted? Just really, really, really beautifully and inwardly take a look at that. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. We're all people of the world that are here to make a difference in some way, and my mission is to help you with yours. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Please reach out to me. Please hit reply to this. Please make a comment. The world needs you. Politics may need you. And you need you the most. Peace out. Bye.